When it comes to most people, achieving financial independence and retiring early is a long-held goal. Still, regardless of what financial independence means to you, obtaining it will require a significant amount of devotion and proper planning. But how do you go about achieving true financial freedom and early retirement? For many people, financial independence has a variety of meanings. The ability to buy anything one desires or the absence of any debt are essential considerations for certain people. Contrast this with the idea of building wealth, retiring early, or just being wealthy for many others. Greetings, folks! FIRE is back, and this time with more financial wisdom. In this episode, we'll go through 6 ways of achieving financial independence and retiring early. But before we go any further, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons on our YouTube channel. Now, let's get started. The attainment of financial independence is a long-term ambition for many people. Sadly, far too many people are unable to attain their goals. These individuals are burdened by mounting debt, financial crises, excessive purchasing, and other obstacles that prevent them from achieving their objectives. Here are 6 ways to help you get closer to your goal of retiring early. Number 1. Establish your life objectives. When it comes to financial independence, what does it mean to you personally? A general desire would be an unsatisfactory goal. Instead, narrow it down to a precise objective. Consider writing down your financial goals, including how much money you should have in your savings account, what kind of lifestyle you want, and when to reach them. The clearer your objectives are, the more likely you will achieve them. Continue by working your way down the age scale until you reach your current age and setting financial landmarks at set intervals. Fill up the target sheet entirely and place it at the very beginning of your financial binder to keep it organized. After you've determined where you are, you should be clear about what you want to accomplish. To put it another way, it implies that you should be precise about your financial objectives. This gives you a defined endpoint for your financial journey, allowing you to construct a proper path to get you there. Number 2. Repay your debt. It is impossible to get out of debt since it creates a destructive cycle where the interest load might remain or even climb further if not adequately handled. While investments contribute to the expansion of one's total assets, debt has the effect of depleting the returns on one's existing investment portfolio over time. As a result, maintaining a debt-free status is beneficial on the road to financial independence through investing. Keep in mind, in this context, that credit cards and other high commercial loans are detrimental to the accumulation of wealth. Organize your finances so that you pay off the entire sum every month. Student loans, mortgages, and other comparable loans often have lower interest rates, so repaying these off is not a pressing matter to worry about right now. Paying your bills on time is essential and, therefore, will aid you in building a decent credit score. Number 3. Establish savings and emergency funds. Before anything else, compensate yourself. Take advantage of any matching contribution benefits your employer offers by enrolling in the plan. Having an automated withdrawal for an emergency fund, which may be accessed in the event of an emergency, and an automatic contribution to a brokerage account or something similar is also a good idea. It is preferable if the money is taken out of your account on the same day that you get your salary so that it never even comes into contact with your hands, thereby eliminating all temptations. However, keep in mind that the quantity of money that needs to be saved is very debatable. The practicality of such a fund may be questioned in various instances. When it comes to emergency funds, it is recommended that you have at least 6 months' worth of costs saved up. This will prepare you for all financial emergencies and any cash flow problems that may occur. They could also be deposited in overnight and liquid savings rather than storing such emergency assets in a standard savings bank account. We are only halfway through our list and already have something new to learn. Before we go any further, please click on the subscribe button and notification bell to ensure that you don't miss any of our videos. Now, let us continue discovering other ways to achieve the FIRE objectives. Number 4. Start investing. You will not be able to obtain financial independence unless you make investments. While it is vital to save, investing those funds and setting them to use productively is also necessary. Moreover, investors have various investment options to choose from, including bank deposits, mutual funds, tangible assets, and so on. One should select the investment option that best suits their financial goals, risk-bearing capabilities, and time horizon for making investment decisions. Imperfect financial markets can cause individuals to doubt this, but there has been a no more fantastic way of growing your investment than by putting it in stocks in the long run. The power of compound interest will allow it to expand enormously over time, but it will take a long time to see any significant growth. You should avoid attempting to be a savvy investor or deluding yourself into believing you can become an instant millionaire. Instead, register an online trading account that makes it simple for you to learn how and where to invest, create a reasonable portfolio, and contribute weekly and monthly payments to it regularly. Number 5. Live on a budget and within your means. Developing a modest lifestyle is not difficult if you approach it with the idea of living a good life with less. Before becoming wealthy, many rich and powerful individuals acquired a habit of living beneath their means. It is vital to concentrate on lowering your main expenses, which are likely to be your rent or mortgage payment, transportation, and food. This will help you save more money. Aside from that, also look at expenditures that you do not need but build up to a significant amount over a year to cut down on. After canceling your subscriptions, you can use your saved money to improve your retirement funds. Consider cutting the use of streaming services and fixed devices with subscriptions. Comparing costs on recurrent expenses such as automobile insurance, for which most consumers overspend, is also recommended. This is not a call to embrace a minimalist lifestyle or a rallying cry to toss everything you have accumulated over the years into the garbage. Maintaining a healthy financial balance by discriminating between the goods you require and those you desire is a financially beneficial habit to develop. Number 6. Earn more money. Given that there is only so much you can save, you must figure out how to boost your earnings, mainly if you work in a lower or middle income position. You can start doing a variety of side jobs in addition to your regular employment. Driving for taxi, retail trade, Airbnb, and whatever else you might think of are all possibilities. Whenever you declare that you have zero spare time, remember that the average person may consume 24 hours of television every week. Consider using half of that time to discover an additional source of income. This will allow you to put more funds towards your retirement savings plan, investments, and other goals. Keep in mind that while you may be trapped with a stagnant paycheck, it is not the only method to earn money. Only a little imagination and a determination to make extra money can do the trick. All in all, achieving financial freedom can be a time-consuming and confusing process. In light of the fact that failures are unavoidable, it is always preferable to begin as soon as is reasonably practicable and seek professional guidance if you find yourself in trouble. From this point on, all you will need is time and determination to see your strategy through to completion. Continue to save and invest, but do not forget to enjoy life while you still have the chance. The fact that you value what you're doing and constantly discover new knowledge as you progress toward financial independence and early retirement remains essential in achieving financial freedom. So, are you ready to start saving money and draw up plans for your future? Let us know in the comments section below. And that's it for today. Thank you for sticking with us all the way to the end of this video. Always keep in mind that only you have the ability to direct your financial journey in the right direction. Again, this is FIRE. There will be no goodbyes since we will definitely see you again next time.
Being good with money is about more than just making ends meet. Don't worry if you're not a math whiz. Professional math skills are not required. You just need to know basic addition and subtraction to budget your money. So, let's discuss some important tips about money budgeting today. But before moving ahead, welcome to FIRE, the best YouTube channel about finance and money. So please take a moment, go down and hit the like button, and if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe to stay connected. Although money can't buy happiness, it can bring a sense of security. Without a handle on money management, you will feel like your life is one step away from a budgetary cliff. 25% of Americans say they worry about money all the time. Studies show that 2/3 of Americans struggle to save thousands of dollars to cover a financial emergency. You need to develop and maintain a strategic distance from being in those kinds of circumstances. This means knowing how to manage your money. When you manage your funds well, life may not get more accessible, but you've got more time to focus on important things in your life. Budgeting your funds doesn't need to be overwhelming. How you spend your money affects your credit score and the amount of guilt or stress you carry. If you're battling with money management issues such as living paycheck to paycheck despite making more than enough money, then here are a few steps to improve your financial habits. Step 1. How much do you make? The first thing you should do is figure out how much money you are bringing in. You should look at your net income. This is what's left after deductions for Social Security, taxes, healthcare, and other possible deductions. After those deductions, calculate how much money is left in your bank account at the end of each month. If you count on any regular income, such as freelancing, you can use the average earnings for the previous 6 to 12 months. Then, give yourself some more wiggle room by estimating conservatively. You may round that number down or simply take the lowest recorded earnings. Step 2. Track your spending. You need to look hard at where all of your money is going now that you know how much money is coming in. Take a look at the fixed and necessary expenses first. Phone bills, credit and debit card statements, energy bills, mortgage payments, student loans, and anything else that requires a monthly payment are all examples of this. Gathering all of your bills and statements from the previous months helps ensure that you don't miss anything. Take a look at how much money you spend on those things each month. Depending on your preferences or the spreadsheet you're using, you can be as vague as you want. For example, you can group certain expenses under housing, or you might list rent, gas, and electric bills separately. Take a look at your variable costs next. This includes money spent at restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, shopping, etc. Again, you can be as specific as you want this time. Just make sure to keep a record of everything. Subtract that amount from your monthly income once you've tallied up all your monthly expenses. If the result is negative, you've overspent. This implies you'll have to make some adjustments to your budgeting strategy. You're on the correct track if your total is positive. However, there's always room for improvement, so you should be prepared to make some sacrifices. Step 3. How much do you owe? So, we know where your money has gone. It's now time to focus on the areas where you owe money. In this part, add up your debts, including car loans, mortgages, school loans, credit card debt, and other debt payments. Knowing how much debt you have can be scary at first. Putting a number to it, on the other hand, will help you pay it off in a more practical way. Making a budget in the first place is a good start in paying off your bills. When you finish creating your budget, you'll be able to see where you can save money. Then, you can use those extra funds to pay down your debts. Friends, do you have any questions so far? Do comment below. Your thoughts mean a lot to us. Keep watching. We'll discuss the 4th step, which is very helpful for budgeting your money. Step 4. Set your goals. Okay, it's time to take a break from the stats for a moment. Set some financial goals for yourself before you get back into it. Do you want to put more money aside for retirement? Do you need to save money for your children's college education? Do you desperately want to pay off your student loans within 5 years? You should set both short and long-term goals. That way, you'll be able to strive for your goals and celebrate when you reach them. Keep in mind that these simple goals should include a savings element. It's very important to save for retirement, an emergency, and future expenses if you want to be financially successful. So, while saving for your next flat-screen TV may seem more exciting at first, don't ignore the basics. If it helps you more, you can also set exact dollar amounts for these goals. For example, instead of saying that you want to save money this year, say that you want to save $500 by the end of the year. You'll then be able to keep a better eye on your progress and make necessary budget cuts to reach that goal. Step 5. Make a plan. Now, let's get back to your budget. It's time to devise a strategy. This entails budgeting for your monthly expenses rather than spending in the moment. To begin, make a list of your necessary expenses. Rent, utilities, gas costs, and other expenses fall into this category. Each month, these are the items you can't live without. Make a note of these costs in your budget. By necessity, you should also include a savings piece. That way, rather than making savings expendable, you'll have an account for it and can stick to it each month. If you have problems with saving, savings accounts with automatic monthly deposits or accounts where purchases are rounded up to the nearest dollar and added to a savings account are simple to set up. This allows you to set it and forget it while still making progress. Next, analyze your more frivolous expenditures. This is where you must be completely honest with yourself. For example, is it really necessary to purchase a new pair of shoes every month? Or perhaps you and your family eat out too often. If you can't entirely remove anything, try lowering your spending in a few different areas. For example, instead of completely eliminating eating out, your daily coffee, and shopping at the mall, just cut back on them a bit. While it may be difficult to give up certain luxuries at first, increasing your money and paying off debts should be your top priorities, and soon you'll be excited about how much you're saving. Step 6. Follow your budget and adjust as necessary. Now that you've created one, it's time to keep to your budget. This can be challenging at first, particularly when it comes to limiting your fun spending. However, making a budget is useless if you don't stick to it. So keep a watchful eye on your finances, especially at the beginning. It's important to keep in mind that you'll have to change your budget as you go. You can put more money towards savings and dining out if you get a raise. On the other hand, if you're sick or you lose your job, you may have to limit your wants even further. Or if, for example, gas prices rise, you may need to make some adjustments. Don't just make a budget and then forget about it or make excuses if you exceed it. Understanding how to budget will be extremely advantageous to you and your financial position. Taking stock of your finances will give you better control over them. That way, you'll be able to save more money, pay off your bills, and put more money into your future. Choose to start budgeting your finances effectively today. Then, implement each of these tips over time. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Take it one step at a time. I've got a budgeting pro tip for you. Luckily, you no longer have to create a budget on your own or from scratch. There are multiple online budgeting tools and guidelines available to help you start. You can also use various smartphone apps to keep track of your spending. Apps can also alert you when you're on the edge of overspending in a particular area. Get advice from a professional. A financial advisor can help you develop a realistic financial strategy and then ensure you stick to it. A matching tool such as Smart Assets or Smart Advisors can help you find someone to work with who meets your requirements. You'll start by answering a series of questions about your circumstances and objectives. The algorithm will then filter down your choices from thousands of advisors to just 3 fiduciaries who meet your requirements. You can then read their profiles to learn more about them, have a phone or in-person interview with them, and decide who you want to collaborate with in the future. This allows you to find a good match while the program will take care of a lot of the legwork. So folks, you may still have some questions related to money budgeting. If so, leave them in the comment section below. We will help you in learning more. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, then subscribe and hit the notification button to get notified of our latest content. If you want to make money and enjoy financial freedom, then FIRE is for you. Thanks for your time.
"15 self-help books to read right now. Increase productivity." You have ambitions, aspirations, and goals. As a smart hacker, you understand that what you do daily ultimately determines your long-term success. So you make a to-do list, set up a CRM system, manage your calendar as best you can, and keep moving forward. However, no matter how hard you try, you can't ignore the fact that you're not getting enough done. Does that sound right? So it's time to brush up on your productivity skills. Luckily for you, we've compiled 15 productivity books to help you get a one-up on life. But before moving ahead, welcome to FIRE. So please take a brief moment, go down and click the like button, and if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, hit subscribe to stay connected. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Getting Things Done by David Allen. This book is like the new Bible of productivity books. It appears with almost every productivity list and is highly recommended by many people. Achieving stress-free productivity is the subject of this book. David's premise is straightforward. Your ability to relax is directly related to your productivity. David presented a system that you may adapt to your specific needs to consolidate all of your wandering to-dos into a single, well-organized system with files and action lists. Number 2. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Developing a personal mission statement, philosophy, or motto is the most important way I've found to start with the end in mind. This book is used by everyone from presidents to CEOs to college students to keep organized and focused on the most important tasks. This book is more of a philosophy for life and work than a system for getting things done. This is a must-have in your library if you want to be more productive. Number 3. Think Like Da Vinci by Michael Gelb. We are all the core of our own unique universes and minuscule bits of cosmic dust. Life and death are the most frightening of all polarities, but on the other hand, life's potential for meaning is enhanced by the presence of death. This book, which is a half-historical commentary on Da Vinci's genius and part productivity book with fantastic exercises, has something for everyone. You won't necessarily find complete or accurate knowledge on Da Vinci as a thinker, but you will learn something useful, all in the name of releasing your unique intelligence. It will also provide you with new ways to see the world and think differently. Number 4. The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. We must understand why we do what we do in both life and business. It's all about willpower. This is how willpower becomes a habit, by deciding on a particular behavior ahead of time and then sticking to it when an inflection point comes. It's a fascinating study of habits, how we form them, and how to break them. The first 2 to 3 chapters are the most powerful and contain the most important information for most of us: how to modify our habits. This book is full of compelling stories of how individuals and corporations change their habits, and it eventually makes a case for how we can all change our habits to better support our most important goals. Number 5. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Eat a live frog in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. You won't be blown away by fresh material, as with most productivity books, but Tracy inspires the reader to quit procrastinating and get things done. The book is divided into 21 parts, each of which Tracy uses to achieve his own extraordinary success. The ideas are simple to understand, and the book is easy to read, making it an excellent place to start for newcomers. Number 6. Getting Results the Agile Way by J.D. Meyer. Many people wait for inspiration before they begin, but they don't realize that inspiration can follow once they begin. Instead of focusing on the actions themselves, Meyer proposes a system that is meant to get results. While the book can be repetitious at times, the concept is brilliant and easy to understand, making it a worthwhile read. You specify flexible boundaries, tasks, and goals against a set time in the system. As a result, you end up with a focus on balance and outcomes over process. This means that you stay focused while you're working instead of the actual minutia of the task at hand. Number 7. The Power of Full Engagement by Jim Loehr and Tony Schwartz. The numbers of hours in a day is fixed, but the amount and quality of energy we have are not. This book is based on athlete and high performer studies. The authors discovered that athletes perform at their best when key aspects of their bodies and lives are properly handled. One approach to performing like a top athlete, for example, is to control energy rather than time. They explain the 4 types of energy: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. This is a book for everyone looking for a lifelong practice of sustained energy and focus, not merely a specific strategy to boost productivity. Friends, do we have any questions so far? Let us know in the comments section. Keep watching, we are going to discuss our next spot. Number 8. The Power of Story by Jim Loehr. Change your story, change your destiny. We nourish the parts of our lives that we feed with energy and engagement, and we starve the parts of our lives that we don't feed. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with your life. If you're looking for a book that can help you define your life's goal and purpose, this book is for you. While it is lengthy, it is easy to read and well written, ultimately providing simple methodology for creating goals for many aspects in your life. The section on defining or discovering your ultimate mission and the story creation process is one of the greatest parts of the book, as it guides you through the process of figuring out what your mission is and how we tell our stories. Number 9. Ready for Anything by David Allen. Cleaning the cobwebs, dealing with old business, cutting loose debris that's impeding forward motion can sometimes provide the biggest boost in productive energy. This is the follow-up to Allen's best-selling Get Things Done. This is a collection of pearls of wisdom from his years of teaching and consulting, unlike the other comprehensive resource. This book is an easy read and a fun addition to the library. This book helps you understand the philosophy behind getting things done. Number 10. Life Hacker by Adam Pash. This book isn't a computer user manual or a productivity system. Rather, it's a mix of both. This book is jam-packed with hacks, tips, and tactics for getting things done more quickly and efficiently. But unfortunately, there is no philosophy here. Simple tools to help you automate and streamline your life. You will probably get lost in the rabbit hole of suggestions, but this book is organized in such a way that it's simple to pick up where you left off or move to a section that's more relevant to your needs. Number 11. The Power of Less by Leo Babauta. Instead of focusing on how much you can do, focus on how much you can enjoy what you're doing. Babauta is well known for his blog Zen Habits, and this book is a natural evolution of his ideas. This is a delightfully simple approach to productivity that seems achievable. This book includes productivity advice as well as Zen-like philosophy that encourages you to focus on and understand what matters most to you. Number 12. Zen to Done by Leo Babauta. Remove as much as possible from your plate so you can focus on what's important and execute it well. Babauta takes his best productivity ideas and tools from other systems and simplifies them using his Zen philosophy. Then, Babauta breaks it down into 10 simple, straightforward habits and how to change them, keeping them as simple as possible. Number 13. 101 Ways to Have a Business and a Life by Andrew Griffiths. We are in a lot better state of mind when we are recharged, feeling well, feeling healthy, having caught up on sleep, and so on. And this revitalized vitality is mirrored in our work. Griffiths compiled suggestions, experiences, and reactions from thousands of business owners to write this book, identifying the primary causes of work-life imbalance and suggesting solutions. This book is designed to be taken up and read even when things are at their most overwhelming. It is well arranged and easy to read. The author's own account of how his business took over his life and ruined his relationships and health is particularly amusing. The book was inspired by his wake-up call and the changes he made, and it turned out to be the best practical guide he could have acquired when finally realized what this business was doing to him. Number 14. The One Thing by Gary Keller. Work is like a rubber ball. It will bounce back if you drop it. The other 4 balls are made of glass: family, health, friendship, and integrity. If you drop one of those, it will be irreversibly scuffed, nicked, and possibly smashed. Keller's thesis is that we work too much on our projects simultaneously. As a result, if we minimize the number of things we focus on, preferably just one, we will get a lot more done with less work. Instead of focusing on the number of tasks completed, Keller encourages us to focus on the thing that will most impact our day, week, month, or life. A delightful book that serves as a timely reminder that less is more. Number 15. Work Smarter by Nick Loper. This isn't about the latest technology or changing your thinking. It's about increasing productivity to meet your objectives. Working smarter, not harder, is the key. This book is a reference collection for every time management and productivity nerd. This book is written in bullet point form with the resource's name and a concise paragraph or two stating what it does as an homage to efficiency. So here you go, 15 best productivity books that will help you improve your productivity and get you to achieve more. So choose one and start reading, but don't just read it. Implement the tips and tactics to your work and daily life, and you'll achieve more that counts. Okay guys, do you like our list? Please let me know in the comments section below. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, then subscribe and hit the notification button to get alarms with the latest content. If you want to make money and enjoy financial freedom, then FIRE is here for you. Thank you for your time. Be happy. Do you ever feel like it's difficult to find methods to save money no matter how hard you try? You strive to spend less and mean well, but something always comes up. Life gets in the way. The car needs new tires, the kid needs braces, the house needs a new roof, and conserving money quickly falls to the wayside. Does this ring a bell? The truth is that you don't have to wait for things to fall into place before you can save money. Spoiler alert, if you wait for the right time to arrive, it will never arrive. Now is the perfect time to begin saving. The good news is that there are many simple strategies to save money and breathe new life and money into your budget. Hello, this is FIRE, the place where your money lives and grows, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe and switch on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Now, here are some money-saving strategies to help you fine-tune your spending and get started saving money right away. Saying farewell to debt is, of course, one of the finest ways to begin saving. When it comes to saving money, monthly debt payments are the biggest money suck. Debt deprives you of your earnings. So, it's past time for you to pay off that loan. The debt snowball strategy is the quickest way to pay off debt. This is where you pay off your bills, starting with the lowest and working your way up to the greatest. Isn't that a little intense? Don't worry, the focus is on behavior change rather than numbers. You can finally use your extra income to make progress towards your saving goals once your income has been freed up. Setting savings goals is another excellent method to save money. Make it a clear but attainable aim. Use a savings goal calculator to see how much you'd have to save each month or year to reach your goal. Whether it's save $5,000 in an individual retirement account this year or pay off my credit card debt faster. You should also open up a separate savings account for yourself. To save money quickly, you must first separate the money you spend on everyday necessities from the money you want to put aside. This entails opening a separate savings account. As a result, you need to reduce the likelihood of having to tap into your savings account to cover daily expenses. Rather, it motivates you to stick to your daily budget while protecting your savings from temptation. If you truly want to save, avoid a poverty mentality. Many people view thriftiness or the prudent use of money and other resources without wasting them to be a virtue. While being thrifty is an obvious method to save money, Emma Johnson, publisher of WealthySingleMommy.com, warns against being overly frugal. The only way to move ahead financially in the long run is to focus on earning, saving, and investing, Emma explains. Saving money on groceries and utility bills will only get you so far, and it puts you at risk of developing a poverty mentality. According to Randy Gage, writing for GetMotivation.com, a poverty or lack, the mentality is one focused with a lack of money, all the things the person doesn't have and can't get. These individuals have self-limiting ideas and make decisions based on their fear of failure or loss. People with prosperity or abundance mindset, on the other hand, make decisions based on the potential advantages. Additionally, you should spend any additional or unexpected income prudently. When you obtain a nice bonus at work, an inheritance, a tax refund, or some other unexpected stimulation, make good use of it. And by good use, we don't mean adding that fancy new stamp to your stamp collection or simply stashing it to the bank to camp out. If you still have debt, you'd be better off utilizing those earnings to pay off your student loans or credit card amount than putting them into a savings account. If you're debt-free, put those additional funds towards your emergency fund, which you'll need in case of an emergency. A spending freeze is something you should try. For a week, or maybe a month, don't buy any non-essential products. Consider it a contentment challenge. Take a daily inventory of things you're grateful for while you're at it. This should help you get rid of your want-itis. Make your spending freeze work by preparing meals by using what you currently have on hand and avoiding locations where you are prone to impulse purchases, as well as saying no to everything that isn't a bare minimum. Set a spending restriction on your credit card. Is there a decent way to save money quickly? Set a spending restriction on your credit or debit cards. This prevents you from overpaying and pushes you to plan ahead of time for your everyday expenses. This is a service that many banks provide. Hey there, how's everything going? We hope you are enjoying this video so far. If you do, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and feel free to share your savings tips in the comments below. Concentrate on more recurrent expenses. According to the staff at the Thrifty issue, while every little amount helps, it's your significant recurring expenses that give the most fruitful ground for increasing your savings. Go through your bank statements and make a list of everything you've ever spent money on in the last year. Then see how much money you can save on them by refinancing your mortgage, comparing insurance providers, and other services, for example. If you spend a day going over everything, you can save thousands of dollars. While every little bit helps, the most fruitful ground for increasing your savings is your significant recurring expenses. It'll also be useful for planning significant purchases. Appliances, furniture, electronics, and other items should be purchased during annual sale seasons. Also, don't make hasty purchases. To avoid the buyer's regret, always wait a day or two before making a purchase. Canceling automatic subscriptions and memberships is a must. You're probably paying for Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, gym memberships, trendy subscription boxes, and Amazon Prime, among other things. Any subscriptions you don't utilize regularly should be canceled. When you make a purchase, make sure to switch off auto-renew. If you cancel it and realize you can't live without it, consider resubscribing, but only if it fits into your new, tighter budget. Returning to the list, reduce your grocery spending. Most individuals are surprised to learn how much they spend at the grocery shop each month after creating a budget. And if you're a typical American family of 4 with 2 children under the age of 5, you're probably spending roughly $1,000. It's so simple to stroll through those aisles, picking up a pack of Oreos here and a few bags of chips there, and then topping it off with the delightful treats at the cash register. However, those small expenditures build up and wind up blowing the budget month after month. Plan your weekly meals and take a hard look at what you already have in your cupboard before going to the market to save money on groceries. We know it's difficult, but rein in your urges. Credit cards, ATMs, and online shopping have made spending money easier than ever before. The level to which we yield to temptation often boils down to our willpower, especially on items we want rather than need. Self-control, according to studies, is similar to a muscle that gets tired with use. Ironically, it is the poorer shopper's willpower that is depleted the most. This is because they must make challenging financial decisions regularly. CanStar advises that if you see something you like, you should wait at least a day before buying it. 30 days if it's a large, non-essential purchase. The impulse may pass. Another approach to stopping yourself from buying something is to calculate how many hours of effort the purchase price represents. You'll probably decide the item isn't worth it. Don't be a brand loyalist. Beware if you're a brand loyalist, someone who buys a product or service regularly. Most vendors are aware that you are less price sensitive than the majority of potential clients. They may be exploiting your devotion, or even worse, take you for granted by charging you non-competitive pricing. Allowing your emotional attachment to a seller get in the way of finding a better deal elsewhere is not a good idea. Even the possibility of leaving may entice your present supplier to make you a better deal. They'll realize that keeping existing customers is frequently less expensive than acquiring new ones. Don't be discouraged if they don't provide you with a discount or free upgrade, for example. Other companies are most likely lining up to offer you a good starting price. 2 a.m. is not the time to go through your shopping bag and see what's in it. Online shopping should be stopped or even at least regulated. Make online shopping more difficult. Rather than keeping your payment information, make yourself enter your delivery address and credit card number every time you place a purchase. You'll probably make fewer impulse purchases as a result of this. Last but not least, consider a staycation. A trip is the worst thing you could spend your money on if your goal is to save money right now. Try becoming a tourist in your city instead of whisking your family away to the Greek islands. Not only will you save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, but you will also be able to discover your neighborhood with new eyes and have fun while doing so. It's all about being deliberate when it comes to budgeting. It assists you in making a budget so you can see where your money is going and how much you may save each month. When you create a zero-based budget, you give each dollar a name or a task to complete before you save or spend it. It's important to remember that it doesn't matter how much money you make. What matters is how you spend and preserve it. That concludes today's video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel and switch on notifications to be notified of new uploads. This is Fire, and we'll see you in our next video. Habits are automatic behaviors and patterns that you display. Many healthy habits can enable you to perform essential tasks such as showering, brushing your teeth, and getting ready for work. Surprisingly, you go through this process every day without much thought or hesitation. Your subconscious practices freeing up space in your brain every day for higher level tasks like problem solving and analysis. So, what are the life-changing habits you'll need to adapt to maximize your success? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. This is Fire, the place where your money lives and flourishes. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications to ensure that you don't miss out on any of our videos. Our habits are at the heart of all we are and do. Our habits are formed over time as a result of repeated activity. They are etched into patterns by the mind, which are known as neural pathways. These brain pathways aid in the regulation of our lives and the facilitation of daily chores. However, not everyone has habits that benefit them. In truth, most of our habits aren't success habits, they're terrible habits. We are held back by our negative habits. They include late-night munching on unhealthy foods, excessive television watching, internet browsing, smoking cigarettes when we know we should quit, and so on. You're well aware of your undesirable habits, and you're also aware of your positive practices. The issue is that most people's destructive behaviors outnumber their positive habits. We've all been there. We've set goals, gotten excited about them, and then lost interest in pursuing them as the excitement faded. Having success habits, however, makes achieving our objectives much more effortless. Realizing our ambitions and dreams becomes second nature. All you have to do now is imprint those new must-have success habits into your mind's neural pathways. You'll form these must-have success habits without thinking about it, just as you would reach for a cigarette or candy bar without thinking about it. What are the essential success habits? The first habit is to set daily goals. The first and most important habit is to create daily goals. Don't just put them in place and forget about them. That isn't how it works. Every day, set your goals and track your progress. Even if you set long-term goals, you must revisit them daily. Divide them into smaller goals and milestones that you can achieve. Setting goals is a valuable skill to have. I'm not referring to some arcane concept in your head. I'm referring to writing down specific goals on paper that you can see right in front of you. They must be visceral in nature. When your objectives are concrete and written down, something shifts in your mind. You've set a goal for yourself. To build this habit, you must first write down your long-term goals, which you then break down into your smaller goals. Each day, this must-have success habit will only take you 5 minutes. Simply look at your milestone goals and divide them into daily targets. Make it a habit to do this every day. Spend just 5 minutes scribbling down the most critical activities for the day and do it regularly. The next habit is effective time management. The capacity to effectively manage your time is the second must-have success habit. To achieve your goals in any aspect of your life, you must manage your time effectively. We all know how much time we squander doing things we definitely shouldn't be doing. We spend too much time on the internet, on social media, texting with our friends, watching television, going out too often, and so on. However, to effectively manage your time, you must first get organized. It only takes a few minutes each day to do this. The first thing you'll need to do is stick to success habit number 1, creating daily goals. You may categorize the importance of those goals when you break down your day into what you need to do. You can classify them on a scale from very urgent to less important. Everything should also be measured and tracked. The ability to measure and track everything is one of the most critical success habits to have. By recording your success or degradation through time, you'll get a sense of your progress in anything from your goals to your time, finances, weight, and everything in between. If you don't track your results and they worsen over time, you'll be able to identify this more clearly and take steps to make corrections. It doesn't take long to develop this success habit. There is some basic setup required, such as creating a spreadsheet to keep track of your weight, expenses, and so on. From there, entering the figures daily does not take long. The most challenging part is getting into the habit of doing so. Remember the mantra, budget and spend wisely. This is a success habit that the vast majority of people in the world who do not have boundless wealth must adopt. We tend to spend on the spur of the moment. We often don't spend intelligently, and we rely on our subconscious mind's inner wranglings to make purchasing decisions. We don't know why we got something. We just knew it was something we needed. This results from the conscious mind's disinformation and the subconscious mind's all-out manipulation. The ego has a curious way of shrouding our actions in justifications when we don't budget properly. You have to have that something because it was on sale, and you didn't know when it would be available again. Does this scenario sound familiar? This won't be easy at first. It will take effort, just like any other success habits outlined here. All you have to do is set aside 5 or 10 minutes each day to exercise these habits. If you can achieve that, you'll be able to keep the momentum going. The most difficult step is simply getting started. To round off our first 5 habits, we recommend paying yourself first. Paying yourself first is one of the most critical financial practices for success. Paying yourself first allows you to save and invest your money as soon as it enters your bank account. Make it a habit to regularly deduct at least 15% of your income from your paycheck. Find an investment program that will take care of the deductions and automate your savings. Paying yourself first is a habit that entails a lot more than simply automating your savings. When you pay yourself first, you're activating a section of your brain that tells you there's more than enough to go around. It's a conceptual transformation that happens on a visceral level. Before we go ahead and move on to the second half of habits you should adopt, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments down below. Okay, this one may seem obvious, but you should exercise every day. Exercise does not have to be a mental or physical challenge. Make it a daily commitment of 15 minutes. Begin by taking a walk around your neighborhood's block. You'll discover that getting this started is the most challenging aspect. But if you commit to just 15 minutes a day, your mind will have no choice but to agree with you. Your subconscious cannot assist you in rationalizing why you don't want to work out today. This success habit is critical to your general health, vitality, and energy levels. Learn to appreciate it. Place your running shoes and clothes next to your bed if you have trouble getting out of bed in the morning.